Hello, welcome again to the Platinum Cell channel. My name is Dr. Ademola Adewale. Thank you very much for watching. If you are new to this channel, this is a channel that's specifically created to address the unique healthcare needs of men. If you've not previously subscribed, please do so now. Like the channel, and by gosh, please share this channel with your friends. Following up on the last episode where I discussed hypertension that I refer to as the silent killer, today I'll be discussing a topic that's very dear to my heart, and it's titled Stress, the Enemy That We Hide. Stress, the Enemy That We Hide. What is stress? Stress is basically the brain's natural response to daily challenges and demands, which could be manifested in the form of emotional or physical response. Stress, as a matter of fact, is a fact of life. We all need stress to survive. We all need stress to be alive. Without any level of stress in your life, you might as well be dead. So stress sometimes is good. On a daily basis, we deal with stress. It's normal. This is what we refer to as a functional stress. We need stress to function. So what happens when we go through stressful situations? Well, our body releases what is referred to as the stress response hormones. These hormones include epinephrine, norepinephrine, endorphins, cortisol, and aldosterone. Collectively, they help modulate your cardiovascular and physical response to the stressful situation. For the purpose of our conversation, the emphasis will be on the epinephrine and norepinephrine and its effect on the cardiovascular system as we undergo a stressful condition. So what happens when your body releases the stress response hormone? The epinephrine and the vasopressin or norepinephrine are known to cause significant vasoconstrictions. Basically, they cause your blood vessels to constrict. They cause them to narrow, though this might be transient. Additionally, they make your heart beat faster. Between the fast heartbeat and the narrowing of the blood vessel, you develop high blood pressure. This phenomenon is transient. It happens in response to the stressful situation. However, if you have finished dealing with the stressful situation, the levels of these hormones normalizes and your blood pressure simultaneously goes back to normal. This is the normal stress response. This is what happened during a daily functional stress, which is normal. So any task you deal with on a daily basis, you go through this. Now, where this becomes a problem is when you have a persistent level of stress in your life. Persistent, unrelenting, chronic stress. This is where it becomes a problem. In this situation, we can theorize that knowing the fact that the stress response hormone goes through a cyclical phenomenon up and down during the day. So you can imagine if you have a persistent level of stress in your life, that means you may have persistent level of elevated stress response hormones in your system. When you think about that, then we can extrapolate that if you have persistent level of this hormone in your system, you're going to have persistent elevated blood pressure, theoretically speaking. At present, there has not been a scientific study in human that directly correlates stress level to high blood pressure. However, it suffices to say here that theoretically speaking, if you have a persistent elevated stress level and persistent elevated stress response hormone, you will have high blood pressure. Recent animal models are beginning to show that when animals were subjected to persistent elevated stress, they have persistent elevated stress response hormone and they subsequently develop high blood pressure. So as a man out there, if you are genetically predisposed to develop high blood pressure, which I said in the last episode that most men will develop high blood pressure between the ages of 40 and 50. Stress, persistent elevated stress might be an instigator or aggravator for you to develop high blood pressure sooner than later. So the goal is to find a way to address these stressors. So this persistent chronic stress might be due to financial situation, family situation, chronic health condition. It might be due to your job. It might be due to trauma. It might be due to any other things that bring stress to your life. The goal is for you to address this stress because it becomes an enemy. Let's use a scenario of a pressure cooker. As the pressure builds up in the pressure cooker, there is a release valve. This release valve allows us to equalize the blood pressure, the pressure in the valve itself, in the cooker itself, to avoid explosion. So now let's think about ourselves as a human, as a man, as men out there. As your stress builds up, dealing with persistent elevated stress in your life, without an outlet to freely discuss your stress, without you speaking to your wife, your spouse, your partners, your friends, or a counselor, guess what? You become a pressure cooker without a release valve. Eventually, you will explode. You will start manifesting the physical and emotional response to this stress. And this could be in the form of emotional abuse on the people that you love. It may be manifested in the form of physical abuse on the people that you love. The goal is to make sure that our stress does not get to this level. The goal is to make us an effective managers of our stress. How do we do that? We need to find a release valve. We need to talk about our stress freely. Talking about our stress freely as men does not make us a less of an alpha man, does not make us a weak man. It makes us human. We are all human, and we deal with stress differently. But it's important that we have an outlet valve to release the pressure, to release the stress, to release the burden, so we can free ourselves. Do not make stress become the enemy that you hide. Do not make stress become something that will lead you developing a cardiovascular condition. Do not make stress be the enemy that will allow you to abuse the people that you love. I will be attaching some links that allows you to perform a self-stress test. Based on your finding in your self-stress test, I'll also be attaching a link on how to help mitigate your stress. The goal is to make you out there as a man an effective managers of your stress. If you like what you've heard, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and please share this channel with other men out there that you may know. They may learn one of two things. Until next time, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Please do not let stress become the enemy that you hide. If you have any question for me, send it to ademolamd@platinummancell.com. Stay safe and stay healthy.